Parenting is one of the most rewarding yet challenging roles a person can undertake. Whether you're dealing with the difficult moments of a toddler's tantrum, the rebellion of a teenager, or just general miscommunication with your children, moments of conflict can feel overwhelming. These situations are often charged with emotions both from the parent and the child and can escalate quickly. However, it is possible to transform these difficult moments into opportunities for growth, connection, and mutual respect. In this guide, we will explore 6 steps that can help you manage disrespectful behavior from your children, foster a healthier relationship, and promote long-term emotional development for both you and your child. As we walk through these strategies, we'll discuss how you can remain composed and use your responses as teaching tools. With consistency and practice, you can create a positive environment that builds mutual respect, emotional intelligence, and a lasting bond. Step 1. Keep your emotions in check. The role of emotional regulation in parenting. As a parent, you will inevitably face moments when your child acts out or challenges you, and these instances often stir intense emotions within you. Anger, frustration, and hurt can easily arise when your child ignores your requests, shows disrespect, or even becomes defiant. The deep emotional investment you have in your child's well-being means that their behavior can affect you deeply. In such moments, it's essential to remember that how you respond is crucial, not just for the immediate situation, but for the long-term emotional health of both you and your child. At the heart of this step is the concept of emotional regulation. Emotional regulation refers to the ability to manage your emotions in a way that fosters positive outcomes. Reacting impulsively with anger or frustration often exacerbates the situation, leading to further resentment and miscommunication. Instead, when faced with challenging behavior, take a moment to pause. Breathe deeply. Allow yourself the space to process your feelings before responding. Why calmness is a superpower. Remaining calm in the face of disrespectful behavior isn't just about suppressing anger. It's about choosing to approach the situation with clarity and intentionality. Children are highly perceptive and will often model the emotional behaviors they see. When you respond with composure, you demonstrate to your child that it's possible to navigate difficult moments without resorting to outbursts or defensiveness. By modeling emotional regulation, you teach your children that it's okay to feel upset, but that they also have the power to manage their emotions and respond thoughtfully. This can be a deeply transformative lesson for them as it encourages emotional intelligence, something that will help them navigate both present and future relationships. When you're able to stay composed, you're not only preserving your own peace of mind, but you're also giving your child a crucial life lesson in how to manage conflict. The benefits of this approach extend far beyond the immediate situation and can lay the groundwork for healthier future communication. Step 2. Show understanding without giving in the power of empathy in parenting. One of the most powerful tools in your parenting toolkit is empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. In moments of conflict, children often act out not because they want to hurt or challenge you, but because they're struggling with emotions they don't know how to express. This might include feelings of stress, insecurity, or frustration, emotions that children sometimes don't have the maturity to articulate. When you show empathy, you're not just acknowledging your child's behavior, but also seeking to understand the deeper emotional roots behind that behavior. The key here is to observe the situation without jumping to conclusions. When you notice a disrespectful action, pause and ask yourself what might be going on beneath the surface. Could your child be feeling overwhelmed at school? Are they struggling with friendships? Or perhaps they are dealing with personal insecurities. Creating a safe space for communication. It's essential to understand that showing empathy doesn't mean condoning or excusing bad behavior. Instead, it's about recognizing that there's often more to the story than what meets the eye. When you approach your child's actions with curiosity rather than judgment, you open the door for deeper communication. This doesn't mean avoiding the issue, but rather addressing it in a way that invites dialogue rather than confrontation. Empathy fosters an environment where your child feels safe to share their emotions without fear of being immediately judged or punished. This leads to a deeper connection, where your child knows that they can come to you with their concerns, no matter how small they may seem. A parent who listens and understands becomes a safe harbor in a child's emotional storm, and this trust is foundational for healthy relationships. Step 3. Set clear boundaries calmly. The importance of firm yet compassionate boundaries. Setting boundaries is a crucial aspect of effective parenting. Boundaries help children understand what is acceptable behavior and what is not, and they provide a sense of security and structure. However, the way you communicate these boundaries can significantly impact how they are received. If you set boundaries harshly, with anger or frustration, the message might get lost in the emotional noise. On the other hand, if boundaries are too permissive or unclear, children may not take them seriously. The key to setting effective boundaries is to do so calmly and consistently. You can explain the rules or expectations in a straightforward manner without resorting to threats or emotional outbursts. This ensures that the message is communicated clearly while also respecting the emotional needs of both the parent and the child. Boundaries as a tool for growth. Boundaries should not be seen as a means of control, but as a tool for guiding your child's development. When boundaries are set with respect and love, children learn that they are not being punished, but rather being guided to understand the natural consequences of their actions. This teaches accountability, which is a life lesson that will benefit your child well beyond childhood. When boundaries are maintained with empathy and consistency, children feel secure, knowing exactly what is expected of them. This sense of security gives them the freedom to explore the world while also understanding the importance of responsibility. Over time, these boundaries help children develop the self-discipline necessary to navigate the complexities of life, from their academic choices to their social relationships. Step 4. Set the example you want to see. Modeling the behavior you expect. Children are often more influenced by what they see than what they hear. This means that if you want your child to show respect, kindness, or patience, you need to model these behaviors yourself. Setting the example you want to see in your child is one of the most powerful ways to influence their behavior. When you treat your child with respect even when there is disagreement, you demonstrate the kind of behavior you expect from them. This includes listening to their concerns, remaining patient, and acknowledging their feelings. When children see their parents navigating conflict with patience and respect, they internalize these behaviors as the appropriate way to handle their own emotions and interactions with others. Authenticity over perfection. It's important to remember that modeling behavior doesn't mean striving for perfection. Instead, it means being authentic. Children need to see that parents are real people, capable of making mistakes and learning from them. Perfection is not what builds trust. Authenticity and consistency do. When parents are able to admit when they've made a mistake or overreacted, it models humility and the importance of personal growth. Leading by example also involves practicing what you preach, even when it's difficult. If you expect your children to treat others with respect, you need to demonstrate this in all areas of your life. Whether you're interacting with your spouse, a friend, or a stranger, your behavior speaks volumes. Children are watching closely, and they will often model what they see in the world around them. Step 5. Create moments of connection. Outside of conflict-building relationships beyond discipline. One of the most important aspects of fostering respect is creating a relationship based on trust and love. These foundational moments occur not in the midst of conflict, but during times when everything is calm. Spending quality time with your children, whether it's through shared activities or simple distraction-free conversations, strengthens the emotional bond and builds a foundation of trust. Children thrive in environments where they feel seen, heard, and valued. By investing in time outside of disciplinary moments, you create an emotional safety net for your child. They come to understand that the relationship you share is not solely based on rules and correction, but also on mutual affection and understanding. The role of positive reinforcement. When children experience regular positive interactions with their parents, They are more likely to respond respectfully during moments of conflict. This is because they don't view their parent solely as an authority figure, but as someone who values their thoughts, feelings, and well-being. Positive reinforcement, praise for a job well done, acknowledgement of their efforts, and even just spending time together without an agenda helps nurture a deeper sense of self-worth and respect. Step 6. Give them space to reflect. The power of reflection and growth. After addressing a situation calmly and setting boundaries, one of the most powerful things you can do is give your child space to reflect. Growth does not happen in an instant, and respect is not something that can be forced. Allowing your child the time and space to reflect on their behavior gives them the opportunity to internalize the lesson at their own pace. It can be tempting to demand immediate changes or apologies, but doing so often leads to resistance. Instead, by stepping back and allowing your child to process their feelings, you are helping them develop self-awareness and responsibility. This reflective process is where true growth takes place. Encouraging personal development. When children are given the time and space to reflect on their actions, they become more responsible for their emotional and behavioral development. Over time, they will learn to recognize the impact of their behavior on others and will develop the skills needed to make better choices in the future. This self-reflection is essential for building emotional intelligence and ensuring that the lessons you teach today have a lasting impact. Step 7. Encourage open communication. Creating a foundation of open communication is essential for fostering respect in any relationship, including that between parents and children. Open dialogue allows children to express their thoughts and feelings in a safe and non-judgmental environment. By encouraging your child to share what's on their mind, you send the message that their opinions matter, which builds trust and mutual respect. Often, disrespectful behavior arises from unmet needs or unspoken frustrations. When children feel they can't communicate their concerns effectively, they may act out in ways that are disruptive. By fostering an environment where children feel comfortable expressing themselves, you reduce the likelihood of these behaviors. Start by creating regular opportunities for conversation, whether it's a daily check-in after school or a casual chat over dinner. Active listening is a key component of this open communication. It's not enough to just hear your child's words. You need to listen with empathy, without interrupting, and validate their feelings. Acknowledging their emotions shows that you care about their perspective, even if you don't agree with their actions. This also helps children understand that respectful communication is a two-way street and teaches them how to engage in more thoughtful discussions. Through open communication, you also give your child the tools to resolve conflicts peacefully and effectively. Instead of resorting to disrespectful behavior, they learn how to articulate their feelings and needs, contributing to a more respectful and harmonious family environment. Step 8. Implement consistent consequences. Consistency is crucial when it comes to enforcing boundaries and consequences. Children thrive when they know what to expect from their environment, and inconsistency in discipline can cause confusion and frustration. If disrespectful behavior is met with unpredictable responses, it can undermine the lessons you're trying to teach. Establish clear, consistent consequences for inappropriate behavior. These should be fair, reasonable, and closely tied to the behavior you're addressing. For example, if a child speaks rudely to you, calmly explain the consequences, perhaps a timeout or a loss of privileges like screen time. Whatever consequence you choose, it should be immediate, respectful, and related to the specific behavior. It's also important to apply consequences consistently, even when it's inconvenient or challenging. If you allow certain disrespectful behaviors to slide occasionally, children may start to test boundaries and push limits. Consistency doesn't mean being rigid or inflexible, but it does mean that the rules are clear and enforced in a way that respects both the child and the parent. As children experience the natural outcomes of their actions, they begin to internalize the connection between their behavior and its consequences. This helps them make better choices in the future and understand that respect is something that needs to be earned and maintained through their actions. Step 9. Acknowledge positive behavior. While addressing disrespectful behavior is necessary, It's equally important to recognize and celebrate positive behavior. Positive reinforcement is a powerful tool for encouraging the behavior you want to see in your child. When children are praised for displaying respect, kindness, and good communication, they are more likely to continue those behaviors. Make it a habit to acknowledge when your child is behaving respectfully. Whether they follow instructions without complaining, speak to you politely, or show consideration for others, offer specific praise. For example, instead of simply saying "good job," you might say, "I really appreciate how you listened and helped clean up without being asked." This reinforces the behavior by showing your child exactly what they did well. Praise should be sincere and specific. When children receive recognition for their positive actions, it strengthens their self-esteem and encourages them to repeat those actions. This positive reinforcement can be even more effective than focusing solely on correcting negative behavior. By shifting the focus to what your child does right, you promote an atmosphere of respect and encouragement. Acknowledging positive behavior also strengthens the emotional bond between parent and child. It shows your child that you see and appreciate their efforts, fostering a sense of pride and accomplishment. It builds motivation, creating a virtuous cycle of respectful behavior. Step 10. Foster emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, EI, is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage one's emotions, as well as the emotions of others. Fostering emotional intelligence in your child is one of the most effective ways to reduce disrespectful behavior and help them develop into compassionate, responsible individuals. When children have a strong sense of EI, they are better equipped to regulate their emotions and handle conflict in healthy ways. Start by modeling emotional awareness. Show your child how to label and express their emotions appropriately. For example, you might say, "I'm feeling frustrated right now because things aren't going as planned. It's okay to feel frustrated, but I need to take a break to calm down." This teaches your child that emotions are natural and that it's important to manage them constructively. Encourage your child to talk about their feelings and to recognize the emotions of others. Ask questions like, "How do you think your friend felt when that happened?" This helps your child develop empathy, which is crucial for respectful interactions. The more children understand and manage their own emotions, the less likely they are to lash out or act disrespectfully when they face challenges. Incorporating emotional intelligence into your parenting creates a foundation for positive communication and conflict resolution. It also helps your child form stronger, more respectful relationships with others as they grow. Step 11. Practice patience and perseverance. Parenting is not an instant fix. Disrespectful behavior doesn't disappear overnight, and there will be times when progress feels slow or non-existent. It's important for parents to practice patience and perseverance throughout the process. Growth takes time, both for children and parents alike. Recognize that every child develops at their own pace, and it's normal for children to regress or test boundaries from time to time. It's essential to stay committed to the principles of respect, even when it feels challenging. By maintaining a consistent approach and being patient with the process, you'll eventually see positive changes in your child's behavior. Perseverance means staying committed to your values and parenting strategies, even when it's difficult. While it may be tempting to abandon your approach when things don't improve quickly, remaining consistent will yield the best results in the long term. Children need time and repetition to internalize lessons, and they will often model your ability to stay calm and patient in difficult situations. By practicing patience and perseverance, you also demonstrate resilience and emotional maturity to your child. You show them that even when things are tough, we don't give up on doing what's right. This lesson in persistence will carry over to all aspects of their lives, teaching them to stay committed to their own goals and values. Step 12. Seek professional help if needed. If you find that your child's disrespectful behavior is persistent or escalating despite your best efforts, it may be time to seek professional help. Sometimes underlying issues such as learning difficulties, mental health challenges, or unresolved trauma can contribute to behavioral problems. In these cases, a counselor or therapist can provide valuable support, in understanding the root causes of the behavior and developing strategies for addressing it. Professional guidance can also offer parents additional tools and techniques for handling difficult behaviors. Therapy may help children develop better communication skills, emotional regulation, and coping mechanisms. For parents, working with a therapist can provide support in managing the emotional challenges of parenting and maintaining a healthy family dynamic. It's important to remember that seeking help is not a sign of failure, but a proactive step toward understanding and addressing complex issues. By involving a professional, you show your child that seeking help is a mature and responsible way to deal with challenges. Getting professional help can be especially beneficial when the behavior is deeply ingrained or linked to more serious emotional or psychological concerns. Addressing the root cause can help both the child and the parent build a more positive and respectful relationship in the long term. Step 13. Reinforce self-respect. Teaching children to respect others is closely tied to teaching them to respect themselves. When children learn to value and care for themselves, they are more likely to show respect to others. Reinforcing self-respect involves teaching children about boundaries, self-care, and how to advocate for themselves in healthy ways. Encourage your child to take pride in their actions and choices. Help them understand that self-respect means honoring their own values and making decisions that align with those values. This can be as simple as choosing to stand up for themselves in a difficult situation or taking responsibility for their actions, even when it's hard. Additionally, reinforce the idea that self-respect involves treating others with kindness and dignity. Teach your child that their worth isn't determined by how others treat them, but by their own actions and integrity. When a child has a strong sense of self-respect, they are more likely to extend that respect to others, making the concept of mutual respect more natural and ingrained. By reinforcing self-respect, you empower your child to navigate the world with confidence and compassion, strengthening their overall emotional intelligence and ability to form positive relationships.